Necromunda versus Kill Team.
Fight!
Hi folks, and welcome back to the channel. I've seen online a few people asking the question about why do we have two skirmish games based in the Warhammer 40,000 universe. So on the one hand we have Necromunda, and on the other hand we now have Kill Team as well. So what I thought I'd do in this video is not to pitch them against each other and say which is the best, but really just to outline some of the similarities and some of the differences to allow you to make a decision on which one will be the sort of fit best with your gaming. So I'm going to break it down into a few sections. First of all, I'm going to talk about the point of entry into the game. Now, Kill Team has a relatively easy point of entry. There's a few ways you can get started. One is you can buy the Kill Team starter box, which will have rules. It'll have two kill teams in there, and all of the bits and pieces you need to enable you to play, along with some very fantastic terrain as well. It also comes with the game board, and so everything is in there to get you started and get you playing. Now, if you already play Warhammer 40,000, or you just want to dip your toe in and have a look, the other option is you can just buy the core rulebook on its own, read through that, and then use any models and terrain and boards that you already have. So the entry point there is quite low. Also, all of the rules and all of the point stats for any models that are allowed to be used in the Kill Team game are all in that core rulebook. So you buy that one book and it gives you everything you need to get playing. Now, Necromunda is very slightly different. There is a starter box or a core box for Necromunda, and inside this you'll find there's two there's two Necromunda gangs in there. You'll also find the rulebook, you'll also find the dice that are in there, and you'll also find some sort of mats to play it on as well, and some terrain. Now, the difference here is that that core rulebook for Necromunda is only available inside that box. So anybody that wants to play the game has to buy that core box to get the rulebook. Now, there's two gangs that are available in that core set, which are the Escher gang and the Goliaths, and both of these are available separately to buy as individual models if you want to kind of upgrade the weapons, if you want to add extra gang members or sort of make different looking gang members for your gangs. So you could just buy those starter gangs if your friend has a rulebook and you want to share between you. However, if you want the rulebook itself, you're going to need to buy that starter set. The other thing as well is that much like Blood Bowl, there's been almost kind of season releases, if you like, where we've had the first supplement came out on release, which was Gang War 1. Now, this included the rules for more sort of 3D terrain, more like I think original Necromunda players would have remembered the game. The core box was more of a sort of a very flat, I hasten to say board game, but it was on a very kind of flat surface. If you wanted to play with lots of 3D terrain, you needed to buy that Gang War 1 supplement, which I think off the top of my head in the UK was about £17.50. And with every supplement, there is rules for another gang as well. So of the gangs that are available at the minute, we've got Escher gang, we've got Goliaths, as I mentioned, we've got Cawdor, we have Orlocks, and we now have Van Sars as well. So each of the rules for those different gangs are in another Gang War book. So we're now up to Gang War 4, so there's been 4 supplements plus the core rulebook as well. Now that very quickly adds up. It's £17.50 per supplement, plus the starter set as well, which I forget, but I think was about £95, something like that. That can get quite pricey if you're just starting out. And not only are the new rules for those gangs in there are new rules for the game in each of those supplements. Things about campaign rules, different, I forget the details now off the top of my head, but basically you need the expansion books to expand to the full rules of the game. Kill Team doesn't have that issue at the moment. So from an accessibility point of view, kind of just starting from scratch with absolutely nothing, Kill Team certainly seems the better option. The next thing is the miniatures themselves. So as I mentioned, there's 5 gangs available now for Necromunda. There's a 6th gang that is kind of talked about, which is the Delac gang, which is still to come out at the moment. It took a while for the miniatures to actually come out. For quite a long time, there was only sort of 2 or 3 gangs. And that's quite difficult when you're just getting started if everybody's sort of playing the same gang. Kill Team on the flip side, everything that is in that rulebook is available from day one because these are all existing Warhammer 40,000 miniatures. So again, it makes Kill Team feel like the easier entry point for a new player, either someone that's never played a miniatures game before, or for someone that already plays 40k or maybe plays something else and just wants to dip their toe in. Kill Team feels the easier entry point. The next thing I want to talk about is the rules themselves. Now, the rules for Kill Team are quite straightforward, I would say. I personally found them sort of pretty straightforward to get my head around and start playing quite quickly. There is a bit of you have to suspend belief a little bit. There's some abstract thinking. Things are like about charging when there's no line of sight kind of thing. Surely somebody would be able to react once they saw somebody. But it makes the rules much more streamlined and a much faster gameplay experience. Hence why Kill Team games can last probably about 45 minutes to an hour long. Necromunda, on the other hand, the rules are much more granular. There's a lot more sort of things to take into account, like wayward shots, like the facing of the model, as they have kind of a line of sight or a front arc, if you like. You can be attacked from the rear in Necromunda. There is a lot more sort of granular rules, things like being pinned down. All of those things make Necromunda a very sort of crunchy rule set. Now, that said, it doesn't make Necromunda a worse game and Kill Team a better game, or one or the other. It really does depend on what you're trying to get out of a game. If you're someone that really enjoys those kind of really crunchy, granular rules, where you really can kind of thematically sneak up behind somebody and stab them in the back, and you really get into it, you can even like choose what different types of bullets for your guns, so you don't just have a basic stat line for your kind of your miniature. You can upgrade their guns, you can give them different bullets for the guns. That kind of thing is really, really thematic. Kill Team is very much more focused on the kind of the gameplay itself, making it simple as an entry point and making it fast to play. Necromunda is really focused on the theme and the very kind of cinematic sort of feel of the game, rather than just getting in and playing quick and fast. The other point where these two games have some similarity is that they do both kind of promote campaign play as well. However, Necromunda has a much more in-depth campaign system, and I would say Necromunda really benefits from being played as part of a group with maybe 3 or 4 people, where you kind of keep playing game after game to expand on that campaign, leveling up your gangers, and really kind of building up that cinematic experience and the narrative of the game. Necromunda definitely benefits from putting time and effort into keeping that going. Kill Team, whilst it does have a campaign, it's much more streamlined campaign, and it's more there kind of to string together one-off games and to allow you to level up slightly in between. It also keeps the levels of those models as they're leveling up. It keeps them balanced, so no matter how powerful one miniature becomes, they become more expensive to put into your Kill Team, and your Kill Team level is still capped at the 100 points, or you can up it, but basically both players would up to the same level. In Necromunda, it becomes much more unbalanced if one team is doing much better than the other. And Necromunda is never designed to be balanced. It's all about the theme, and it's all about the story. So if you're looking for something that you want to play over a long period of time with a campaign with your gaming group, Necromunda probably does fill that gap. If you're looking for more one-off games or a much more balanced, much more competitive type game, Kill Team is probably the one for you. So with all that said, I wouldn't say one game is better than the other. They both have their merits and they both fit a very different place. If you want to play a really fast-paced, exciting kind of cat and mouse type game that's over within about 45 or 50 minutes, and the entire range of miniatures, a really wide range of miniatures, is available to you from day one, then Kill Team is the game for you. If you want to play something that is much more granular, it is really crunchy rules, you can really get into what kind of weapons you're giving your people, what kind of ammunition they put in those weapons. You can really sneak up behind people. If you want to play something that is really thematic, really cinematic, where you can choose what ammunition go into your bullets, you can sneak up behind somebody because you need line of sight from your front arc. If you want to build a campaign, if you want to really level up and see how your gangs change, and really get into the kind of the background of your gang and play it over a long period of time, because the game probably takes maybe 2 to 3 hours to play, even with a small model count, then Necromunda might well be the game for you. There's no reason why you can't play both, But what I would say is, my personal opinion is, if you're a new player and you're just looking to play a quite straightforward miniatures game and you like to build kind of small gangs from a skirmish game type thing, then probably Kill Team is the way to go. And this is the reason why both of these games can exist alongside each other. I personally think there's going to be some crossover, but I think they have different audiences. The Kill Team audience is the 40k type players, people that want to play 40k but maybe don't want to commit to building a full army or want to play a little bit less infrequently. Certainly new players to the hobby. I think the Necromunda guys are the guys that remember it fondly from its first iteration when it first came out, and they really do enjoy those kind of long, crunchy campaigns that go over weeks and months. I think there will be some crossover, but I think actually they really do appeal in the main to two different parts of the market. So what do you think? Do you think I've missed anything? Do you think there's other reasons why you prefer one over the other? Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video.